Clean, sharp tools will not only help them last longer, it makes the chores a lot easier when you're out in the garden. So here's a tip that you can use to make the tools cleaner and sharper. Once you're inside at the end of the season, it's a great time to do this, but any time of year is good. Use some steel wool on your metal blades and go ahead and rub the surface to get off that excess debris and that caked on dirt, whatever's on there that you can knock off. Steel wool really helps with that. So rub that over the surface for quite a while until it's clean, or until at least you've knocked off that caked on dirt and clay. So just do that until you feel like you've got it where you want it. That's a lot better already, and that just took a few seconds. And then find a file in your house or go get one, but you're going to use this for a long time, so it's good to have this around. But take this to your cutting edges and a hoe, a shovel, anything with an edge on it. This is great for that. And you just take it and just work in one direction. You can usually see the angle on the cutting blade, and you just want to follow that angle and continue to work in one direction, and you'll see that edge start to shine up where you know that you're really getting a good cutting surface there. But in the case of a hoe, for example, like this, where you're slicing off weeds at the surface, a sharp blade makes such a difference when you're out in the garden, and it just makes everything a lot easier. Chores aren't usually most people's favorite thing to do outside, but when the tool is sharp and it's clean, it just makes all of that go a lot better. Okay, a little more of that, and it's going to be nice and sharp. It already is, much sharper than it was a moment ago. Let me show you another tip. If you take care of your tools, they will last a long time. So here's an old wooden handle. Now, a lot of the tools today that you buy have fiberglass handles, and they don't need the care that I'm about to show you, but hopefully you've still got some wooden handles around. And so at the end of the season, a lot of times these handles get a little bit rough, especially if they get wet and then they dry out and they get wet again. So what you want to do is take some fine sandpaper and just go ahead and rub this all over the handle lightly. You don't have to do a heavy sanding here. You're just trying to knock off the rough edges. So you get the idea with that, but then you come back with a light coating of linseed oil. Really, almost any type of oil works, but linseed oil is very appropriate for this. It's got the nice consistency that you want. And you put it on a rag, and then you just rub it over the surface, just lightly, and it absorbs into the wood, and it just really preserves the life of the wood. It just does a really nice job. Look at that. Just look how smooth and shiny that is. Just from a real light coating. It's very simple to do, but it makes a big difference in the life of your handles and your tools over time.